Have you ever felt your heart pounding, your head feeling tight, and that quiet worry creeping in that your blood pressure might be rising too fast? Many people describe it as a sudden sense that something isn't quite right. Now here's the reassuring part. In many cases, the body responds quickly when you give it the right signal. And today, I want to share a simple 5-minute technique that helps the body calm itself naturally. As men move past the age of 50, the body changes in ways we don't always notice right away. Blood vessels gradually lose flexibility, stress hormones linger longer, sleep patterns shift and daily pressures add up. Years of rushing, worrying, working, and sometimes neglecting rest can quietly push blood pressure higher. Often it's not one big thing, but many small habits stacking together over time. What's important to understand is that the body is always listening. It responds to breath, posture, thought patterns, and rhythm. When pressure rises suddenly, the nervous system is usually involved. The body believes it's under threat, even when it's not. The heart speeds up, blood vessels tighten, and pressure increases. The key is to send the opposite message: safety, calm, and control. This is where a simple 5-minute reset can help. It's not a replacement for medical care, but it's a powerful support tool that many people overlook. When done correctly, it encourages blood vessels to relax and the heart rate to slow down. And the beauty of it is that you can do it almost anywhere. Before we talk about how and when to use this technique, let's talk about timing. Timing matters more than most people realize. Doing calming practices only when stress hits is helpful, but doing them consistently trains the body to respond better under pressure. Men over 50 often push through discomfort instead of pausing, but the body doesn't benefit from pushing. It benefits from rhythm. Lifestyle plays a major role here. Long sitting hours, late meals, poor hydration, shallow breathing, and constant screen exposure all tell the body to stay alert. Over time, that alert state becomes the new normal. Blood pressure doesn't rise overnight. It rises because the body never fully stands down. Now imagine this: 5 minutes, no equipment, no pills. Just you, your breath, and your attention. When practiced daily, this technique teaches the nervous system to settle faster. When used during moments of pressure, it can help bring things down gently. Now let's talk about the technique itself, because simplicity is what makes it effective. When blood pressure rises suddenly, the body is often stuck in a fast, shallow breathing pattern. This keeps the nervous system in a state of alert. The goal of this 5-minute practice is to slow everything down and remind the body that it is safe. Start by sitting comfortably or lying down if that feels better. If possible, place both feet flat on the floor. This grounding position sends a subtle signal of stability. Gently rest one hand over the chest and the other over the lower abdomen. This isn't for force or control, but for awareness. Many men are surprised to discover how little the lower abdomen moves when they breathe. That's a sign the body has been living in tension. Begin by breathing in slowly through the nose for a count of 4. Not a deep gasp, just a smooth, quiet breath. As you inhale, allow the lower abdomen to expand gently. Then pause briefly just for a second. After that, breathe out slowly through the nose or mouth for a count of 6. The longer exhale is important. It tells the nervous system to relax its grip. Repeat this rhythm again and again. In for 4, pause out for 6. With each exhale, imagine the shoulders softening, the jaw unclenching, and the chest becoming lighter. There's no need to imagine numbers or colors if that feels uncomfortable. Just focus on the sensation of air leaving the body. For men over 50, this kind of breathing can feel unfamiliar at first. Years of holding tension, controlling emotions, and staying busy can make slowing down feel awkward. That's normal. The body may resist at first, but consistency changes that. As the minutes pass, blood vessels begin to widen slightly. The heart rate slows, pressure eases. This isn't magic. It's physiology. The body is responding exactly as it was designed to when calm signals are sent clearly and repeatedly. One important detail is where your attention goes during these 5 minutes. If the mind races toward worries, deadlines, or discomfort, gently bring it back to the breath, not with frustration but with patience. Every return to the breath is a reset. This technique works best when used at the first sign of pressure rising, such as a tight head, flushed face, or inner restlessness. Waiting until things feel overwhelming makes it harder. Think of this as early maintenance, not emergency repair. It's also helpful to practice this once or twice a day when you feel fine. Morning and evening are ideal. Doing it regularly trains the body to recognize this breathing pattern as familiar and safe. Then, when stress appears, the body responds faster. Now, let's talk about why some people try this technique and say it didn't work for them. In most cases, it's not because the method failed, but because the body wasn't given the right conditions. One of the most common mistakes is rushing. Men especially are used to fixing problems quickly. They sit down, take 2 deep breaths, check how they feel, and get frustrated when nothing changes. The body doesn't respond well to pressure placed on relaxation. Calm must be invited, not demanded. Another mistake is breathing too deeply or too forcefully. When breaths are exaggerated, the body can actually feel more alarmed. Gentle and slow is the key. Think of smoothing the breath rather than filling the lungs to their maximum. If you feel lightheaded, that's a sign to ease back and let the breathing become smaller and softer. Posture also matters more than people realize. Slouching compresses the chest and limits how the lungs move. Sitting upright but relaxed, with the chest open and shoulders soft, allows the breath to flow naturally. Lying flat is fine too, especially if there is dizziness or fatigue, but avoid positions that strain the neck. Now let's look at lifestyle habits that can either support or sabotage this 5-minute practice. Hydration is a big one. When the body is low on fluids, blood becomes thicker and pressure can rise more easily. Many men over 50 simply don't drink enough water throughout the day. Small regular sips make a difference. Another factor is timing of meals. Heavy meals late in the evening can keep the body working hard when it should be resting. This disrupts sleep and increases strain on the system. Better sleep means better pressure control. The body repairs itself most effectively when sleep is deep and uninterrupted. Movement also plays a role. Long periods of sitting slow circulation and stiffen blood vessels. Gentle walking, especially after meals, helps keep blood flowing smoothly. It doesn't need to be intense. Consistency matters far more than effort. Stress habits are another hidden contributor. Constant news exposure, unresolved worries, and carrying responsibilities without pause keep the nervous system on edge. The 5-minute breathing technique works best when paired with intentional breaks throughout the day. Even stepping outside for fresh air or stretching for a minute can reinforce the calming message. One more thing that often gets overlooked is self-talk. Men are rarely taught to notice how they speak to themselves. If the inner voice is harsh, demanding, or fearful, the body responds as if under threat. During the breathing practice, using quiet, reassuring thoughts can help. Simple phrases like "slow down" or "I'm safe right now" can be enough. As these habits improve, the 5-minute technique becomes more effective. It stops being just something you do and becomes something your body remembers. Now let's talk about turning this from a technique you remember occasionally into a habit your body relies on. The real benefit comes when the nervous system begins to expect calm instead of chaos. That shift doesn't happen through intensity, but through repetition. For many men after 50, routines are built around work, responsibilities, and other people's needs. Self-care often comes last, if at all. The key is not adding something complicated, but attaching this 5-minute practice to moments that already exist. For example, right after waking up or just before going to bed. These are natural transition points when the mind is more open to slowing down. Morning practice sets the tone for the day. Instead of starting in a rush, 5 minutes of calm breathing can reduce the stress response before it builds. Evening practice helps the body let go of accumulated tension and prepares it for deeper rest. Over time, this can improve sleep quality, which has a direct effect on pressure levels. Consistency is more important than perfection. Missing a day doesn't undo progress. What matters is returning without guilt or frustration. The body responds best when it feels supported, not judged. Even 2 or 3 minutes on a busy day still send the right signal. Another helpful habit is awareness during daily activities. Notice how often the breath becomes shallow while driving, reading messages, or dealing with small frustrations. Each time you notice, gently slow the exhale. You don't need to stop what you're doing. Just soften the breath and release the shoulders. These small resets prevent pressure from building unnoticed. Social and emotional support also matter. Many men carry concerns silently, believing they must handle everything alone. Holding stress internally keeps the nervous system activated. Sharing worries, even briefly, reduces that load. Calm conversations have a measurable effect on the body. Food choices also influence how well this practice works. Meals rich in natural, whole foods support healthier circulation. Excess salt, processed foods, and heavy evening eating can counteract the calming signals you're trying to send. Balance is the goal, not restriction. Another overlooked factor is gratitude. It may sound simple, but focusing on something positive while breathing can shift the nervous system quickly. During the 5-minute practice, bringing to mind one thing you appreciate helps the body release tension. This isn't about ignoring problems, but about giving the body a moment of relief. As weeks pass, many people notice they feel calmer in situations that once triggered pressure spikes. That's not coincidence. The body has learned a new pattern. Blood vessels respond faster. The heart doesn't race as easily. Recovery becomes quicker. As you continue using this 5-minute practice, it's important to notice subtle changes rather than expecting dramatic results overnight. The body often heals quietly. You may find that stressful moments don't feel as intense, or that your breathing settles more quickly without conscious effort. Some people notice improved sleep, fewer headaches, or a greater sense of steadiness during the day. These are signs the nervous system is learning to regulate itself more effectively. It's also helpful to understand when this technique is enough and when extra support is needed. If pressure readings remain consistently high, or if symptoms feel unusual or persistent, professional guidance is essential. This breathing practice is a supportive tool, not a replacement for care. Think of it as something that works alongside medical advice, lifestyle changes, and regular monitoring. One common concern is staying motivated. Many men start strong and then drift back into old habits. The best way to prevent this is to keep the practice simple and meaningful. Instead of thinking of it as something you have to do, think of it as a short pause you give yourself. 5 minutes is not a demand, it's a gift to the body. It also helps to connect this practice with a personal reason. Maybe it's staying active, being present for family, or simply feeling more in control of your health. When the purpose is clear, consistency follows more naturally. Environment can support success too. Choose a quiet spot if possible. Dim lighting in the evening or natural light in the morning helps signal the body to relax. Even small cues, like sitting in the same chair or using the same time of day, reinforce the habit. Another powerful element is patience. Years of tension don't unwind instantly. The body needs reassurance over time. Each calm breath is a message. Each slow exhale tells the heart and blood vessels that there is no immediate danger. Over days and weeks, those messages add up. As men age, the idea of slowing down can feel uncomfortable, even unfamiliar. But slowing down doesn't mean giving up strength. It means choosing control over reaction. It means working with the body instead of against it. If there's one thing to remember, it's this: the body is designed to respond to calm. When you create space for that response, even briefly, you support balance at a deep level. 5 minutes may seem small, but practiced regularly, it can change how the body handles pressure. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take a breath, be kind to yourself, and remember that small, steady steps can make a meaningful difference over time.